Hello, welcome to another episode of The Real Deal. Today, I just wanted to show the second return I've had from Wescreenplay. So I had initially, back at the end of October, sent in a copy of a script, and basically somebody edits it for you. But I was really impressed by the amount of detail that they gave me on the first run through. And I went through and I followed a lot of the directions and resubmitted it. And I just got that one back. So I just want to share that with you. So this is the new one. So this time I scored quite a bit higher. So last time I was at 42 pages. And one of the things they said is that since I was pitching this as like a half-hour TV pilot, that, you know, comes out average to a minute per page. So I did 42 pages, way too long. So I trimmed it way down. So 12, well, almost 12 pages off. I'm down to 31 pages. I scored much higher this time in terms of characters and total. I think last time I might have been at 48th percentile or something. I know I'm at 72nd. So quite a good jump just from following some of the basic directions. I'm just going to kind of go over the things I say I still need to focus on here. But I'm really happy about this, top 20% for characters. My goal, of course, is to keep trying until I improve it to get into the top ratings. So I'm just going to read out their opening thoughts. There have been a lot of great changes made in this revision, and the pacing is much more concise and succinct. Now, what you want to do is focus on expanding on Kyla as a protagonist. Language and action lines is sharper, but could still get redundant in places. Dialogue is, as before, delightful, quirky, and believable for each character, but needs to be linked with action more. And so again, they kind of go through just some, again, what I really like, some actual specific examples. And so what they're asking like is, can you clarify more and, you know, in speech as well, but more in action, showing things, what Kyla's stakes are in this first episode. Why is she going to Equinox? Kind of emphasize her goal and what the cost is if she doesn't go through with it. So a little bit more emphasis on the character development and motivation. Let's say, take a look at the plot here. The plot has a clearer and stronger through line, which is great. Now you need to make each obstacle that you give her to have a larger purpose, or else don't make a big deal about it. For example, the detail with the door. It's not clear why so much is time is spent on them rather than just having one line about the door under the scene heading of it. It's a matter of describing the world of the story. So I had basically a lot of page time in a discussion on why the doors are so large and heavy at Haven Hall. And the reason being because this used to be a fortress for ogres and trolls. He's basically saying this really didn't have anything to do with the story. It's just world building. So you could, it's not a trajectory for the characters and plot. So while that might be fine for a book and a script, everything's got to be honed in and everything needs to be moving the story forward. It's like, okay, that's easy enough fix. And then they talk about redundancies. So, you know, sometimes I'll say things that just don't need to be said, which I do in real life quite a bit as well. That's most of my life. So going through some of the examples for that. Dialogue. While there were some funny lines and beats that popped off the page for Kyla and the other characters, like last time, you want to make use of physical language and physical choreography, more to create more comedic, to create more comedy throughout. You tend to have a character state something in dialogue without a setup of character action. And I can totally see that. And I think I mentioned this in the last video. I much prefer writing dialogue to action. And so I think that's something that he's saying, or he or she, I don't know. Whoever edited this is basically saying, you know, you have a lot of cool lines, but you need some physical action to back up what's being said. All right. All right, let's go to concept. A delightful and heartfelt story that addresses themes of friendship and competition, but also of lost dreams and letdowns. Kyla is such a delightful character. We want to root for her as an audience. And the more developed her arc becomes, the more tangible the themes of ambition, success, and friendship and love will become. And the final thoughts. In order for this ending to work below, we need to have an understanding of what's going on with Kyla emotionally, and right now we don't. Part of the solution will just be adding more action and reaction lines for her. But it's also that we don't know how being a messenger is a demotion because we don't know what it is that she wants to be. So that's a fair criticism. She doesn't want to be a messenger, but she's really never clarified what her goals are. All right, and then the last paragraph, if you can emphasize more of how she may not know what she wants to be, but she imagines herself as a seed and plant singer or an eye-staring trance or a creature who flies, and we would see how being a messenger is a letdown. And of course, the book does go through all this a lot more, but that has the luxury of time and space. And so I've kind of got to figure out a way to express this without actually adding any screen time. We need to get the assignment she's being offered as a letdown in order for the last beat to make sense. Maybe you can have her move through these stages of her imaging through a visual montage, which I kind of do. I just might need to put more emphasis on that. We need to get a sense that she has high hopes and has now been deflated. Okay, so I do have a little bit of a montage. I just might need to put a bit of an emphasis on it. All right, so I think the only thing that really went up in these overall, as I went up from kind of last time, they were like, okay, potentially a cable or streaming service show. Now they've moved it up to the pilot is very commercial and would likely fit in network programming. So that's kind of the boost I got. Still need one step in the middle for a lot of these. Okay, so, but I think that's pretty good. So I'm happy with how much it went up. If you go to the last page, you can see it's all kind of in the good percentiles, which is nice. There's nothing in the improved percentiles. I am trying to get everything up to excellent. Virtually perfect would be great, but I think that's going to be a lot. But I'm getting close. I need to get into my characters are at 80th percentile, so they're only 5 points away from being excellent. So yeah, I'm going to give it another run through, and I'll keep you posted how it goes. It's actually been very interesting. It's kind of like being back in school again, but like it's not for grades. It's kind of more relaxing than school, kind of. But it's like, yeah, I'm just really impressed with the detail and the amount of feedback this person has been giving. So just thought I'd share that. You all have a wonderful day.